This article comes to us from CNBC. It says Google restricting internet access to some employees to reduce cyber attack risk. So when I read through this, maybe I'm wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. I know you will. But it kind of struck me as like almost like a least privilege kind of thing, but to the extreme. Like if you don't absolutely need internet to do your job, you don't get it, basically.
All I heard was Google's insecure.
Got bullied as a child. You can't blame it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Years ago, I was up. Where was I? Was at Paul Security Weekly, the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I was up there for their 500th episode, and in the little round table that we did, I made a comment, and I was talking about firewall rules, right? Every company has a firewall these days, and they filter all sorts of inbound stuff. And I said, would it be such a bad thing if we had outbound firewall rules as well? Very few companies implement outbound rules. Basically, if you're an employee on the inside, you're allowed to get wherever, right? Which means if your computer gets infected or compromised, it's allowed to go wherever. And most employees don't need access to the full internet. So why not limit and restrict them? Well, it's a terribly unpopular opinion to float out there, but Google is actually looking into that now, years later. I'm sure plenty of I did not invent this. Let me clarify that.
This wasn't
real quick.
a Don Pizzette original.
Absolutely not. At least I hope it was.
I hope so too.
So anyhow, they are looking at that, and they've rolled it out in a weird way. Like they selected 2,500 of their employees, and then they said employees could volunteer to be a part of the program. So if you're a Googler, you could actually volunteer to be part of this, where you get limited internet access.
Did you say Googler?
I think that's what they call it.
Is that what they're called?
I thought.
Googlers?
Yeah.
That is a fun term. I learn something new every day.
I could be wrong, but I thought that's what they call their employees.
Man, if I got a job at Google and they're like, our newest Googler, I'll be like, oh yeah, so I quit.
No. If you were new at Google, new hires are known as nooglers. Long-term employees are Googlers. That's real.
No,
that's
I'm
a
sorry.
real thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Don.
It'd be worse. You could be a Microsoftie.
Are you kidding me?
No, I made that up.
Oh, thank God. Oh, man.
Anyhow, so I was thinking about it, right? In my general day, all right, I do need access to the internet because that's how I find out about tech news and other stuff. But the majority of what I do is through Microsoft 365. I'm in my email, Microsoft Teams.
That's how you access YouTube?
I
didn't know you could do that. Yeah,
but
weird.
I was thinking if I were to restrict my internet access to what I need for my job, email, Teams, Zoom, some of those things, those I need for my job, but the rest of it I really don't need. And if you were to take it away, that would secure things, right? But in a way, it's like looking at a house and saying, how can I make this house more secure? I know I'm going to get rid of all the windows. Nobody can break in if there's no windows, right? But it's a little extreme. And normally we try and find a balancing point in the middle where you're getting adequate security without inconveniencing people too much. But I wonder with this one, are we finally at that stage where the internet is just so untrustworthy that this is the only option?
I mean, if you keep going with your house analogy, right? On any random street on any given day and anywhere in the world, there's probably fairly few times someone is attempting to break through the window. Whereas the house on the internet, it is how many times a second that window's trying to be breached, right? So it's hard to make that as an apples to apples comparison because of the difference in how much attack traffic is actually occurring for a physical home versus an internet facing device. And like you said, maybe we are just there where it's like, we got to build up so many walls and shut off so many things and sacrifice on the altar of security the God of convenience, so that we can have a secure environment. Now that's inside. I'm not saying you do whatever the heck you want inside your own home, right? If you own the device, open it straight up, get buck wild. Probably not the smartest idea in the world, but that's your person. You go do your thing. Inside of a corporation, though, you're trying to keep that data safe. You're responsible for other people's information and sensitive information. It might be just the way to go.
And I know what some people are probably thinking, which is like, it's a little draconian to cut down. What if I want to check my personal email or whatever?
You pull out your phone.
Yeah, in the past, that used to be a problem, but today, everybody's got a phone. You've got a personal device. They probably have a guest Wi-Fi you could join up.
Get crazy.
It doesn't seem as unreasonable as it used to.
Yeah.
So Daniel, let me get your opinion. Let's say that you are the CISO for a company with 10,000 employees, massive attack surface in terms of social engineering. would you entertain the idea of restricting internet access?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, I've worked for a company that restricted internet access. I know what that's like to be an end user on the other side of that. And for the most part, whenever you did run into like, I need some internet here, like I really need to have that, you just a little bit of a ticket. Someone goes, what do you need? This is what I need. This is why I need it. Awesome. Give me a second here. We're going to mull this over and see whether or not it's a worthy endeavor to give you access to that. If so, we'll give it to you. If not, try something else. And that's just kind of how it went. And that wasn't often that occurred. It happened every now and then, but we had very restricted internet access on what I could and could not get access to because they were trying to be more secure. And we were pretty tight because of it.
You know, I think I know the environment you're talking about. That was WebSense.
Yeah, WebSense.
That was used there. And WebSense was pretty powerful. I'm off on a tangent here, Sophie, sorry.
I'll allow it.
I've opened the nostalgia can because Don knows what exactly.
A few months ago, somebody asked me about web filtering, and I was like, well, I've got a lot of experience with WebSense, but I haven't used it in years.
Right.
And I could not find...
Is it out of business?
I don't think they went out of business. I think they got acquired.
Now they're another company.
But I couldn't figure it out. Like it's almost like they disappeared. So if you're a listener out there in TV land and you know what the heck happened to WebSense, shoot me an email. Let me know. Go to the Technado website and you can shoot us a message.
They got acquired by Fortinet.
So I'm guessing, if I had to guess, that they got acquired by Symantec.
Oh, okay.
Because Symantec buys every security product and then lets it die. Right? I mean, that's their business model. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be their CEO. Because how hard is it? You buy whatever security product you can and then just literally do absolutely nothing with it and let it die.
And then you're the only game in town.
Yeah. But all your stuff is, crap.
Don't matter if you're the only thing in town, Don.
Yeah.
You said it's called WebSense?
WebSense.
Are you actually curious what happened to it?
Yeah, do you know?
Do you know?
So I Googled it.
I like how Don did not think to Google it, apparently.
I did. I mean, I didn't put a ton of effort into it, but I did some.
So I just Googled what happened to WebSense, and
he
it does.
passed out drunk before he got to the...
I was gonna say, it's a massive conspiracy.
That's as far as he got was he typed it in.
They covered everything up. It says in 2015 they acquired a network security vendor called StoneSoft from Intel, and then in 2016 the company was renamed to ForcePoint, and then Francisco Partners acquired them in 2021.
ForcePoint. All right.
Supposedly.
I'm
I'm reading from the Google. So.
All right.